guys, this is Dana from This Pixie Creates, and today I'm going to be showing you how to make these really easy textured coasters. So you only need a couple of supplies, some cotton yarn, a 4.5mm crochet hook, scissors, a yarn needle. You're also going to need a safety pin or a stitch marker just to keep track of where your first stitch of the round is. And to make them very sturdy so that they last over time, you're going to need some cork board. So you can find this at the dollar store, on Amazon. I'm going to include some links in the description box below if you have a hard time finding this, but basically any craft supply store. And then to attach them, we are going to use a hot glue gun. To cut the cork board out, you'll need an Exacto knife, and then just a sanding block or any sandpaper will work great just to sort of smooth the sides out, and I'm going to show you guys exactly how to do that. So all of the materials you need are going to be listed down below in the description box. Alright guys, before we dive into the tutorial, I just wanted to talk to you about the texture in these stitches. So it's actually really easy. We're going to be starting off working them in the round, and we're going to make half double crochets. These are all half double crochets, but to make these knit-like stitches, we're going to be working into the third loop only. So with half double crochets, we have the front loop and the back loop, these two loops here, and then there's a third loop that we're going to be working into. So that creates these really nice textured stitches. Okay guys, the first thing that we're going to do is make a magic ring. So with your index and thumb, you're going to hold the yarn in place, and then I always like to use my index and my middle finger. You're going to wrap the yarn around your index and middle finger, and then wrap it again so that it makes an X at the bottom. Okay, and we have two loops at the top here. So insert your hook under the first loop and pull that second loop. Okay, and then this part is tricky, but you're going to twist your hook and that holds it in place. Then you're going to chain one. So we're going to start by making 8 half double crochets into the magic ring. So if you don't know the half double crochet, you're just going to yarn over, insert your hook into the magic ring, yarn over and pull up a loop so you have 3 loops on your hook, yarn over and pull through all 3 loops on your hook. Alright, so we want to do that 5 more times so that we have a total of 8 half double crochets. Just give that a quick count, guys, to make sure that it's 8. See, we have this tail part of our magic ring. We're just going to give that a pull, and that just tightens the ring up nicely. So this is actually the hardest part of full coaster, but it's working into that first third loop of our first half double crochet. So it's a little hard to see on screen, but this is our first stitch here. This is the front loop, this is the back loop, and then this is our third loop. I am going to work into that loop. Okay, and I am going to make 2 stitches, 2 half double crochets. Alright, now with your stitch marker or your safety pin, insert it into that first stitch, that first half double crochet that you made, and that's just to mark the first stitch of round 2. So this is the front loop, this is the back loop, and this right here is our third loop. So into that third loop, we're going to make 2 half double crochets. Into the next third loop, we're going to make 2 half double crochets, and we are going to do that all the way around, always working into that third loop only. We're going to make 2 half double crochets until we arrive at that stitch marker. So by the end of round 2, we should have a total of 16 half double crochets. And it's always good to count your stitches just to make sure that you have the correct amount, because if you do, your circle is going to turn out a little wonky. Okay, now we have arrived at our stitch marker, the first stitch of the round. So what I always like to do is we're working into that back loop. Okay, so we want to start off making 1 half double crochet into that first stitch of the round. Okay, mark that stitch, mark that first stitch that you just made with a stitch marker, and that is now the beginning of round 3. Okay, so into that next stitch, working into that third loop only, we're going to make 2 half double crochets. Into the next third loop, we're going to make 1 half double crochet. Into the next third loop, we're going to make 2 half double crochets. Into the next stitch, we're going to make 1 half double crochet, and we're basically going to repeat that all the way around, alternating between making 2 half double crochets in one stitch and 1 half double crochet in the next stitch. So by the end of this round, we should be like our last stitch should end with 2 half double crochets in it, and we should have a total of 24 half double crochets. We are on the last stitch. I just made 2 half double crochets, and now I'm back at the beginning of round 3. So now into the first stitch of round 3, I'm going to make 1 half double crochet, and that is my first stitch of round 4. So I'm going to take my safety pin or stitch marker, and I'm going to insert it into that stitch to mark the beginning of round 4. Now into that next third loop, I'm going to make 2 half double crochets. Into the next stitch, I'm going to make 1 half double crochet, followed by 1 half double crochet in the next stitch, and then into the next stitch, 2 half double crochets. Okay guys, so the pattern here for this round, for round 4, is 1 half double crochet in 2 stitches, so 1 half double crochet, 1 half double crochet in the next stitch, so 2, and then 2 half double crochet in the next stitch. So I'll show you guys that one more time. Into this first stitch, we're going to make 1 half double crochet, into the second stitch, 1 half double crochet, and then into the third stitch, 2 half double crochets. And you want to make sure that you're working into that third loop only. We're going to be doing that all the way around for the whole coaster. Okay, one more time guys. Into the first stitch, 1 half double crochet, into the second stitch, 1 half double crochet, and into the third stitch, 2 half double crochets. So we want to do this all the way around, and the way that we started this, it's going to be a little weird for this round, but we're going to actually end with 1 half double crochet into that last stitch of round 4. Last stitch, it's going to be 1 half double crochet, and then we are back at the beginning of round 4. So to start round 5, we're going to make 1 half double crochet into that first stitch of round 4, remove our safety pin, and insert it into that first stitch that we just made, and that marks the beginning of round 5. Okay, into the second stitch, we'll make half double crochet, into the third stitch, 1 half double crochet, and then into that fourth stitch, we're going to make 2 half double crochet. So now this time, it's 1 half double crochet in the first 3 stitches and 2 half double crochets in the next stitch. So 1 half double crochet, 1 half double crochet, 1 half double crochet, 2 half double crochet. And again guys, working into that third loop only. So 1, 2, 3, and then 2 into the next stitch. Our last stitch, we're going to end with 2 half double crochets. Okay, we are back at the beginning of round 5. So to start our round off, we're going to make 1 half double crochet into that first stitch of round 5. Mark this first stitch of round 6 with a stitch marker, and now we want to do half double crochet into the next stitch, followed by 2 half double crochets in the next stitch. Okay, so now this is where our pattern continues. So we are going to make 1 half double crochet in the next 4 stitches. 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then into the 5th stitch we're going to make 2 half double crochets. So that's the pattern, guys. 1 half double crochet in the first 4 stitches, 2, 3, 4, and then 2 half double crochets in the next stitch, or the 5th stitch. Okay guys, we have 2 more stitches to work into, so those are going to be both just 1 half double crochet in each stitch. And we are back at the beginning of round 6. So now we are going to make 1 half double crochet into that first stitch of round 6, and that now becomes the first stitch of round 7. So mark that with your stitch marker, and then we're going to make a half double crochet in the next 4 stitches. So we should have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, counting that first stitch of round 7, and then 2 half double crochet into the next stitch. So the pattern for this round is we're going to make 1 half double crochet into the first 5 stitches, and then into that 6th stitch we're going to make 2 half double crochets. And again guys, working into that 3rd loop only. Alright guys, we're at the last stitch of the round, and so that should be 2 half double crochets into that stitch. So we're now at the beginning of round 7, so to start round 8, we are going to make 1 half double crochet into that first stitch of round 7, switch out our stitch markers. But yeah, if you guys would like to make this bigger, so if you want to make bigger coasters, if you'd like to make pot holders or placemats, you can basically do anything with this pattern. First stitch of round 8, then we're going to make 2 half double crochet in the next stitch. Okay. And now this is when our pattern is going to start. So we are going to make 1 half double crochet in the first 6 stitches, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then into the 7th stitch we're going to make 2 half double crochets. So I want you guys to do that all the way around, 1 half double crochet into the first 6 stitches, 6, and then 2 half double crochets into the next stitch. Okay guys, we are at the last 3 stitches of the round, so we're going to make 1 half double crochet into the last 3 stitches, and that's how we're going to finish round 8. Okay, now at this point guys, this is basically how big that our coasters are going to be, so we are going to stop here and do a round of slip stitches, and that will make sure that our coasters are no longer increasing and they have a really nice edge. Check out the blog post and find those customizable instructions, and then once you're satisfied with the size, then you can do a round of slip stitches to finish it off. All right, so stitch marker no longer matters now, so we can just kind of leave it or take it out. Okay, so this is the first slip stitch of round 9. So basically we're gonna insert our hook into that first stitch of round 8 into that third loop only, and we're gonna make a slip stitch. Okay, so I'll show you guys that again. Into that third loop only, we're gonna yarn over, pull through that stitch, and then pull through the loop on our hook. And we are going to slip stitch into each third loop all the way around. Okay guys, we have now slip stitched into our last stitch of round 9. So at this point, I'm going to fasten off by yarning over and pulling through that loop on my hook. I'm going to leave a long tail. Oh, okay, crap, I did not leave a long tail. Alright guys, so this is your coaster. The last step is to weave in your ends before we are going to attach it to the cork board.